Welcome back to Equalized Sound and Auto Repair. This is Chris back at it again, and we already did the unboxing for the SCAR audio system. It is a 1200 watt RMS audio system, 2400 watt rated amp. So this is the wiring kit. We're going to start the wiring process. So it's a 4-gauge wiring kit. Comes with everything you need. That's 4-gauge power wire. I like the blue. It's already pre-tipped. Awesome. Don't even have to put that on there. Great. It's already got the heat shrink on everything. You have your RCAs. Well, I think this is, yeah, your RCAs. We'll just pull them all up out of here. The whole thing. RCA, and looks like speaker wire. Yeah, so this is speaker wire. RCAs will run from the front to the back to the amp. And this is the remote wire. We already have that ran from the previous installation, and I had to snatch that out because it wasn't good enough for me. All your amp hardware, mounting kits and stuff. And we have our ground wire. All right, it's got the protector on there. All right, that's great. And we have a 120 watt fuse, which is going to do just fine for this audio system. So these guys are about to go in this guy. So be right back, getting started on running this wire. All right, so first we're gonna do, let me show you what all you might need. May not need all these, but right here I have 4. These are basically trim removal tools. So you're gonna need probably one of these. If you have some, this is so you don't scratch the plastic for your dash or any of the plastic on the inside of your vehicle. You're gonna need some type of ratchet. In this case, we're gonna use a 3/8 ratchet. I'll take that back. This is a 1/4 inch ratchet. And we're gonna use drill gun to make it go faster. Impact gun, not that you need it, but you could actually use the ratchet to get it out, but we're gonna make this pretty quick on the installation. Hold on one second. Okay, so we're getting ready to run the power wire. We're gonna start with that. Already made me a existing spot to go in through. We're gonna go in through the firewall. Got a nice spot over here. So you're gonna need a 7mm and some type of pick or something. You might need this, you might not, but it does help sometimes. Or like I said, the ratchet. So we're not gonna use this today. It's pretty easy to take out this system as far as the dash and everything, put the system in. But we're gonna hook this system up to a Kenwood DDX, what's that thing, 57S. So Kenwood DDX 57S, Android Auto, DVD player, all that good stuff. Chill out, dude. Anyway, let's get to it. Awesome. Okay, so it's time to run the power wire. This is a 4-gauge power wire. We're gonna run it through the firewall. Before you hook up the power wire to your battery, remove the negative terminal so you don't electrocute yourself or short out your vehicle. So, this is for educational purposes. I am an electronic technician, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. But we're gonna run through the firewall. I need you. Can you stop the video? Right, we had to do a stop video so nobody will hurt themselves, nobody get injured, and make sure everything's secure. So, play the video, and we already doing that. So, it's a spot down here. It's a rubber grommet right here. I usually find one somewhere, but this one I already know, I already have it. I made me a hex cross sign on it so I can push my power wire through. So I'm going to do that while we're talking. And we're gonna feed her through. Well, actually, I'm gonna do this last. So I'm gonna sit this here, and let's get some light over here. Let's feed her in through the firewall, and I'll pull her in. And I'll put this on last. So let's get her going, and I'll go in and start pulling her through here in a second. Just want to get enough in there, so I think we're good right there. Get this power wire out the way, and we're gonna pull her through. So I figured that I'll go ahead and unravel the remote wire. Well, taking it back to RCAs. I figured I'll take and wire those while I'm in here. So let's start pulling this guy down. And we got our good old faithful Milwaukee M12 under the hood light. Very good for mechanics. Thank you, Milwaukee. And the reason why I chose it, because it has modular batteries. You can change the battery pack, keep working, all that good stuff. So let's see if we see our power wire. And there he is right there. Bam. So it's time to pull. All right, let's straighten her out so she can come in great. Need that for later somewhere. We might as well take this out because we're gonna have to eventually. And it's my music, so I don't have to say that shit. Mats out the way real quick, and let's make sure we're good. Need enough power wire just in case you have some issues to where you might need to cut and resplice. So we're gonna pull her out about there. Yeah, so just a little extra past your battery, wherever you're gonna go, here or here. You can always tie off somewhere, but it doesn't hurt because you're able to tuck your wire a little better in certain areas. So I'm giving it a little more stretch. And we'll cut that in a minute. We'll be right back. All right, so we're back putting in the power wire. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna pop up your trim. It's all different in different ways. Let's start here. There we go. Got that out the way. There we go. Now, got our light. Make sure we're behind there. So let's see. We're gonna go like this. Go under the carpet a little bit. There we go. I know I got plenty of power wire because this is not a long vehicle. So just tucking my power wire under, and we're gonna go all the way through this bad boy. I already ran my backup camera wires and my remote wire the last time I did the installation, so I just left that in. This is gonna hump up, so let's get it around the back. Let's see if I can get her down there. There we go. This is going under there as well, but we gotta run that first from the radio. So let's see, let's keep going. This is where we gotta play tuck. Tuck her under. All right, not yet on this one. Move you out the way for a second, buddy. Let's get you up under there real good. So I'm working it back with my fingertips. So yeah, the wires disappear. And let's go to the inside of the other back. All right, so now I'm back here. All right. Power wire. Got that out the way. Let's finish our tuck method. A little bit at a time. Don't rush. And I'm doing this so I don't have to pop this trim off back here. I might have to a little bit. Nope, I don't look like I have to. I should have been using my trim tool. All right, and we're gonna go, I'll finish tucking her in a minute. We'll go on the outside. outside of the seat belt, not on the inside. Let's pull it up outside of the seat belt and to the back. Power wire is ran. So we're gonna go back to the front. This is my previous ground wire, but I had to uninstall this one and put the 4-gauge ground in, so it'll be equal, because you got your power wire this big and this is an 8-gauge, so very significant. You want the balance between positive and negative. It will still work, but it's going to draw heat because it's not as thick enough to run the currents through. So we're going to pull that out here in a second and put the new one in, and not going to worry about it. We got that ran. I'll finish tucking that here in a little bit. So we're going to pause the video for now. Be back in a sec. All right, so we're in the vehicle now. We're about to remove the dash. This is how you remove the dash on a 2010 Dodge Nitro. Should be same for the 07 all the way to the 11. You got your center console here. Not too hard, very simple. I'm gonna get my spark plug buddy out real quick. Remove everything I don't need out the way. And is this on? Yep, it is. It looks kind of dim. So let's pop this out. And this is pretty easy to remove. Let's see where we can start. There we go. Alright, now let me get my hook. So I don't need these. This is where I use my hook at. Might be able to pop it. There we go. There we go. And let me get the key so I can put her in reverse so you can pull them out. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is there. And then this is when we're getting ready to use those 7mm and stuff. Back at it. Let's put her in park. All right, turn it all the way on. Let's go all the way back to the 1. Get her out the way. And from here, you want to, let me turn off stuff. There we go. So our heat is off, and now it's time to disconnect stuff. So that is the Kenwood DDX 57S, 57OS. There we go. Pop that out. We got 3 little pins. They push in. They got like a little spring to them. So for those who don't know, there we go. Now we can move the whole piece out the way. So I just disconnected the AC and the heat controls. Move this out the way, and the cigarette lighter switch. Can't mess them up because they're all different. So can't mess them up. So now we're gonna put back in park. Now it's time to take off the bolts. You can use turn it down. You can use a regular Phillips, or you can use a 7mm. So I'm using the 7mm. Like I said, you can use the ratchet, or you can use the impact. So we're gonna use the impact just to make it get done a little faster. But before we do anything, let's turn this radio off. There we go. And we can take the key out for a minute right now so it ain't dinging in the ear. Let's get these out. Got that on level 3. And I won't be using these to put this back in there. And if I do, it'll be on very low setting. Take these 4 out. And we're gonna run our remote wire. We already ran our remote wire. We're gonna run our RCAs and our RCAs and our no, just the RCA. Yeah, that's all we gotta run, just the RCA. All right, so now it's time to pull the girl out. So everything else is already hooked up previously. So we're gonna sit her here for a minute. Usually I'd unplug it, but I don't need to in this case. So let's get our RCA wire first. And that's the only thing we gotta run because our remote wires are already ran. And we're gonna do the amp remote controller last. It's not going in through here, so we're gonna take our wire hanger here and our good old electric tape, and we're gonna fish her down through. So just a little tape around the wire hanger. Well, this wasn't a hanger, it's an old fly swatter. But just a little bit of tape like that, just to hold it on there. And we're gonna fish it through. This one just died on me, it's about to die again. So let's find our fishing spot, which is right there. And we're just gonna fish her through. You're not gonna probably be able to see it good on the camera, but we're gonna fish her through like that. And then I'm gonna go underneath, there we go, and grab the wire and start feeding her through. Light, thank you. Now, I'm not gonna pull the hanger all the way through, I'm just gonna pull it out and take this tape back off. Light. I think I taped it too tight. Yeah, so we'll do that in a minute. This is gonna be in the back anyway. Like that. Thank you. Pull it all the way out. We don't need it no more. So now it's time to fish this through. So we're about to fish it through. Be back with the video after we fish it through. We're gonna tuck the wires just like we did the power wire. When we get in the back, I'm gonna show you how to hook up the amplifier. Yeah, this is the only thing we have left to put back in here. We're gonna run it, zip tie everything up last, make sure the system's working before we close up anything. So, about to run this, come back to the last part, and we'll see you in a minute. Go. All right, so we got her in, ran through, we fished her through. So, we're going to find our base knob. Let's see, I already had her in there. Yep, there she is. So, it's got your base subwoofer right here. It's upside down, it says subwoofer. I bought this piece on Amazon to split to make my RCAs good to go. So left, right, left. So put my red with red. If you didn't have this subwoofer, you can still run your amp and use your regular RCAs on the back, your whites and your red. Those will still pull power, for those who don't know. So this one says subwoofer, so we're gonna use our subwoofer, and we also have a remote to turn it down. So we're gonna do the RCA here, and we're done. Let's stuff it back in there. Make sure all our wires are okay. Bam, radio in. I already did the bracket, of course, you've seen that. So it's time to put the screws back in and finish feeding the wire through, and be right back at it. 7mm. Go. All right, so got the radio back in, 4 7mm screws. And sorry about the dinging, but you know how cars do. Now, since I know my remote wire works, I don't need to do anything. So I'm gonna test everything because this is a very easy system. Otherwise, I would test it before doing all this. But the system is so easy to install. Let's see. And it is Halloween. So happy Halloween. There we go. Start from the top. And that's it. That's Dodge Nitro. Put it back in the park. And we do have power. Yep, so I'm gonna cut her off for the moment and leave her at that. Now we still have to run the wires that I just put in, so we're gonna do. All right, right, we're at the end of this installation, and all we gotta do now, we're gonna put in the power wire, the ground wire, and the remote wire. So let's do power wire first. It's all the way down, so let's back her up. Let me turn it so I can see it better. And you don't want to make the wire too long. You just want it to sit in there real good, and then tighten her down and spin her like that. Tighten her down till she stops. Don't over tighten it. You'll feel it bite. And then just tighten it just as much. And there we go. It's snug, just snug enough. And then mount your amp. So now we're gonna do the ground wire. Back it all the way out. And you don't have to watch this if you already know what to do, but this is for those who don't know. Scoop this back some. There we go. Just tighten her down. All right, now our remote wire, which could shorten it, but I'm just gonna tuck everything. Remote wire, I like to ball mine up a little bit at the tip, and it goes here, and then all we have is speaker wires left. And the amp remote wire, remote control wire. So let's do this, and got her all the way in. And you don't want to see any wires exposed. Sometimes you might, but if you do, that's what these bushings are for. So that side is done. Now we have our RCAs. Oh, this is that tape I had on there from earlier. Where's Mr. Razor Blade? Get it on off. I don't feel like playing with it. There we go. So, all we have is speaker wire. We're going to do that last. Probably going to make it probably about 3 feet long. But on this side of the amp, you have your controls and you have your RCA inputs. So, we're going to do the RCAs, right, left. 1, 2, this is set up, and then we have our amp remote turn on wire, which should be, is that him? I can't see.
It says remote.
There we go. So that's all the hookups other than the speaker wire. And which way I'm going to put it on here? Try to mount it this way. Let's see. Probably mount her up here. Yep, just like that. So we'll start doing tucking. Alright, so we're gonna put the speaker wires in, mount this, and make sure everything comes on, which it should and be no problem, and we'll be right back for the final finish. Alright, welcome back to the final stage of the Nitro installation. Up here, we already got everything ran. We can come over and take a look. Let me get a light too, just to go through. So, last thing to do was to get this fuse in. So we ran it nice through the firewall, and our 120 amp fuse ran to the battery, nice and crispy. And we're gonna go around to the back. And we left off where we got the speakers in now. So those are the Scar Audio 10-inch subwoofers, 1200 watts, and they're gonna put it to the test tomorrow. So we're gonna go back around to the side over here. We got our amp over here installed and mounted. So we're gonna go over here and do some adjustments. I decided to put it there. It looked crispy, so I put it right there. Come over here and give it a look. And we're gonna test her out. So let's go up to the radio. This is all installed with the Kenwood DDX57S. So about to hop in and show you, see what's going on, make sure everything's working right. I'm gonna start the car just cause, you know, I need my phone. I figured that. Alright, so got it running, so I'm gonna charge the battery. Everything's working, so I'm about to already set up the Bluetooth and everything. So that's the system, Kenwood DDX57S. And let's go take a look at the amp and everything, make sure everything's good. We already know what it is, but let's see, it's on, it's working, no issues. So now let's test the bass. Alright, hope the neighbors don't get mad at me real quick. Reach inside. Alright, I got the hatch up. I should probably close the hatch. Yeah, let me do that because it's gonna be real loud. Alright, so we're back in. Got the doors closed, so we're gonna get the true bass of what it's gonna be. I probably should close the garage, but I'm not. Last thing I do have to do in here is, where is she at real quick? Turn this light on. My bass switch, my bass knob. So there is no bass going on right now through this thing. I got it on. I gotta find somewhere over here where I'm gonna mount it at. So let's test it out. Everything's on. I'm not gonna turn the bass up yet, so let's just test it out. I'm gonna put one of these songs with some bass on there. And this is just my YouTube. Alright, so we back. I decided to do a voiceover right here to avoid copyright issues. So just explaining, you know, where everything goes as far as how the power wire and everything's adjusted and how it's ran very nicely into the inside of the firewall there. 120 amp fuse, everything installed beautifully. I haven't had any issues since the installations, and it looks like I will never have any issues. I didn't mount the fuse box just in case I need to remove it, but yeah, very nice system. 1200 watts RMS, 2400 watts full range as far as your whole audio. But finally got my amp mounted, and everything was crispy. Everything worked correctly. Just doing a walkthrough right here with you guys since I had to voice over everything. So after doing that, everything was crispy. So decided to come on up to the front and see what's going on. So the stereo is a DDX5707S. Just to clarify that, made by Kenwood. And I get in here, getting ready to start this guy, but the doors were open so long, well, gotta jump the battery. So after doing that, got it back running, and it's time to go through the settings and show you guys how it sounds and everything. But since I had to mute this, I'm going to do a portion at the end of this video to show you the after install, since it doesn't really matter because the system is functioning properly and everything is doing what it's supposed to do. So after this video here, as far as me showing you everything and how I hooked it up and how I mounted the amp and all that stuff, so after that I'm gonna add the video of how it actually sounds. You won't get the full sound quality
that you would actually get in real lifetime, but you will get a nice portion of the bass and everything through your regular speakers and maybe your audio system, but it's not going to be the full experience of what you will experience with 2400 watt amplified system. So all right, so we back, got everything installed nice and crispy. So let's go through some of the settings. So I'm gonna show you my EQ right now. I'm just gonna do some presets right now. I believe my preset is on powerful right now. So let's play with this music and get you guys, and my bass boost is off right now. So let's go through some of these settings and let you hear some music. So, and I'm only gonna turn this up. I usually crash out on like 15. I haven't upgraded the door speakers or anything, but let's get it in. I'm gonna put it on what I normally put it on, 22. It's gonna be kind of loud, but we're gonna play with this bass knob, and then I'll show you how my amplifier is set up, and then I'll show you the woofers in the back. Knob is. Start cranking it up. Superman, so I ain't fine to save a hoe if she ain't trying. Lit nigga on big shit, they typical and I'm different. Bound to blow in the imprint. See where I go, I'm behind tents. Introverted ain't nonsense, cause common sense. I pay attention, how time spent. No tolerance for them problems. Looking for a bitch who get it. Bitch gotta keep my interest. Bass knob still ain't up much. Let's go through the settings. Bass boost is off. My subwoofer is on level 1. I don't really mess with that too much. I'll turn it back to 0. I think it hinders the bass. This thing crashes, so bass boost on. Don't get mad, so let's show you what's going on in the back. This is my amplifier setup. Let me see if I can get it at the same time while I'm holding the phone. There we go. This is my amplifier setup. Now, ain't that much. I'm using 6 decibels at the moment. So got that nice crispy install. Mounted on the back of the seat real good. Let's get this back. Show you what's happening with these kickers in the back. Yeah, they crash. I'm gonna go back up here. I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit. So still ain't all the way up to half. You see my gain was only halfway up, and I'm gonna turn it up a little more. You're not gonna get the full experience of 2400 watts, so let's turn it up a little bit, at least halfway. So this is what they look like in the back. Nice speakers, 10-inch Scar audio. So thanks for watching Equalize Sound and Auto Repair. I don't have too many installations on audio right now because everybody's getting cars and stuff fixed, but I figured I'd go ahead and do this video to complete the whole video. So yeah, thanks for watching Equalize Sound and Auto Repair. Hopefully you liked the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and yeah, hope you learned something today. This applies to all vehicles as far as the way I did the runs and everything. Your battery might be in a different place, but yeah, pretty much the same all the way through. Please like and subscribe to the next video. I'm out.